country, and even in wartime, there is a need for administrators. In any case, I was in uniform for the last war, so make no mistake, I have fought for France. Well, technically I didn't actually fight. I was in the pay corps, as a matter of fact. But we must all do our bit. Patriotism comes in many forms. I expect you all know my charming wife, Edith.
What's that? Mumble.
Shh. Oh, is it me?
I think you have to read a bit now.
Yes, dear, it's you.
Good game. Yes, you're on next. You're my favourite.
After 19 years.
Who's going?
Yes, I am Edith Legrandbutt. I think you all know me. Maybe some of you even remember me from my younger days when I was a dancer. I was quite famous, you know, back in Paris. But that was before I got married to my beloved husband. And now I do not dance. At least not upon the stage. Maybe one day when this war is over, we shall go back to Paris. But I think I am too old now for dancing. Nicole?
My name is Nicole Legrandbutt. I live here in Casablanca with my parrots.
Parrots?
You never told me you was from Wales.
Bigara, have we got
I too hope to go to Paris one day, but not while the Germans are there.
How about here?
Here in Casablanca it is very boring, but at least we French still run our own affairs. Even if people like my father spends other time... Oh, do you know this? Sorry.
Mother, she was French. My father was a Russian. And I am a citizen of the world. I am a poet, you know. And we poets do not recognize these artificial barriers of nations. We are the true internationalists. We are the... Oh, yes, we are. But still, I shall say this only twice. But still, as Nicole says, I love France very much. And if I didn't have this bad leg, I would have fought for her. Not Nicole, for France, I mean. Though I would fight for her too. Obviously, if I did not have this bad leg. I should like to read you one of my poems now. But I see that Mr. Ransom is looking unhappy at the idea. Maybe you should speak, Mr. Ransom.
Yeah, my name's Ramson, Kirk Ramson. Kirk Ramson the Third, actually. If it's any of your business, which it ain't, I run Kirk's African Cafe in the Old Town. Come up and have a drink sometime if you've got nothing better to do. Look, I'm American and I'm not one of these fools who talks about loving his country. Love ain't even in my dictionary. I don't love no one or nothing. And nobody loves me. Hell, not even I love me.
Hell.
Most days I don't even like me, but we've all got our crosses to bear. Ain't no use pretending life's a bunch of roses. Pass me the bottle there, honey, will ya? You want to talk to these people, Hairville, Pinklehurst?
It's probably one of those communists who have destroyed my beautiful country. I was a countess there, you see. Or I would have been if it had not been obliged to flee for my life when I was a little girl during the Bolshevik rebellion. They ruined my life, those communists. They stole all my money and killed all my family. I hate them all. At least our friends, the Germans, do not treat their noble families like that. We must all support Herr Hitler in his crusade against communism. We must! But I am sorry, this is not relevant to this evening. I am very sorry for this black cat person. It is too terrible. Monsieur Oily Cat, you had perhaps better introduce yourself.
Ah, bonjour, Countess.
Bonsoir, actually. We're at night.
You're from Wales?
Right. Get it right. It's bonsoir.
Yes, but I am from England. Have a look at that. So
Oh,
I have to
right,
get things
okay.
wrong.
That's fine.
My name is Monsieur Olicart. I am a theatrical agent. And I rather fear this is nothing to do with me. I am only here in Casablanca for a week or two, trying to find some artistes for Le Moulin Bleu. Perhaps you know it.
No.
We pride ourselves on having one of the most exciting nightclubs in Paris. Anyway, I know nothing about your world here in Casablanca, and I shall be leaving next week, so fear I shall be unable to help you. Perhaps Mademoiselle Sherry Boot, whoever that is, can add something. She is one of my discoveries, you know.
Yeah.
I am very grateful to all you have done. I too shall be leaving Casablanca next week. Monsieur Olicart assures me I have a glittering future on the stage of Paris. I am a singer, you see. And I hope you will come to see me at Le Moulin Bleu. When you are next back home, I shall be delighted to sing, especially for you. Madame Ingrid, I think you have not yet introduced yourself.
I'm supposed to be Danish, but I can't do the accent.
My name is
Not a lot of people know that.
Not a lot of people know that. I'm an art dealer, and what more can I say? I'm very sorry to hear of this tragedy, but I know very little of my business. We do not have these artists in Denmark, and I'm... It's M-I-M-E. M-I-M-E, where that believe
Like mine.
Alright, so I can't read. We do not have these mime artists in Denmark, and I am instead more interested in fine paintings and sculptures. Will you please mind your own business? I now come from Australia.
We started in Essex now.
They do not understand vocabularies and musicals and so on. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very cross.
Lift that camera, lift the camera.
What a manoeuvre.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. I'm still laughing at your bird yet.
Clearly.
Sorry about that. Yeah. One sneeze, that's once.
Sorry, darling. What's going on?
Where did that come from?
Yes! Well, everybody
That was in the script.
I think that's what Kurt said. Where the fuck did that come from?
I said bugger that for a joke. Okay, we'll get them all in quick.
Right, we can't go further now until you tell us.
I don't know, but I'm calling a cat.
Have we explored
I think so.
all possible orifices?
I
have to think of see what your name is.
God, I'm glad.
I'm Edith
I'm really glad we have.
So how close is dinner, or shall we do round 3?
Okay.
We're about 10 minutes away.
Oh God.
Well, should we have the tape first, or should we leave the tape until? Because well, let's have the tape now. And then
Got much.
I did not see, I only speculate.
But Edith, she told me I wasn't Nicole's father, but I had no idea that the black cat was indeed her father.
But no one can confirm that you were asleep upstairs at the
I was
time.
asleep, you know me, I'm always asleep.
I'll vouch for that.
I rest my case.
But if Edith wanted to kill the black cat, then she would have needed help. Who better than her lover,
Who is Elle?
Kirk Ramson? Particularly since they were seen together just before the murder.
I have told you I could not sleep. I was just looking for some company.
Ramson,
Who can?
he is a big, strong man. He would have been strong enough to strangle a 20-stone meme artist.
Mimi.
Mimi artist. Sorry, Ken.
I've lost my place. Oh, there we go. Here.
Oh, I don't know.
Have I got to answer that
confused now.
accusation?
Well, it's best you do.
Do your best.
Well,
do your best.
To be honest with you, that's an absolute load of rubbish. Because if I wanted to be a hero, I'd be joining up with the American Army. As it is, I'm not going to get myself in trouble for some two-bit dame that I've been having a bit of an affair with.
Which 2 bits is he on about?
2 football bits.
More like 6 bits from here.
That's what hour? What hour? What hour?
No, that's Keller. I said Keller.
Countess Bobble.
Yes, my dear.
Right.
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 That's very
Yeah.
Russian, isn't
Yeah.
it?
What do you want?
Right, mate. I demand to know where you were when she was,
I'm still waiting for secret
when the murder was
word
committed.
I was in the drawing room with my dear friend Otto von Springbok.
Yes, that's what it says here.
Abandoned.
But I still loved him. Je t'adore. And the best solution for me was to have nothing to do with a bastard.
Even though he passed you on a dose of the French Malaise.
If anyone wants to know where I was at the time, I was downstairs with my current lover Kirk, and he will confirm that
Who
this
can
story.
corroborate?
Dirty bugger.
You are.
Just
That don't sound very French, does it?
Just read
You're
it.
a dirty bugger.
Who can corroborate?
Thou's got to get it while they can, lass.
He's a Northern American.
You do not know.
Northern America.
I think you've got it in for me. Infamy. You've all got it in for me.
You do not know. You do not know who can corroborate.
Okay, so.
Infamy.
So, Hughes.
No reply.
Hughes.
I'd say is a nothing. I speak.
Hughes, I'm going to accuse you.
Your pussy's coming.
Oh,
And I'm accused because you forced Ingrid to help you to kill the Black Cat. You persuaded her by saying that you'd actually get her an exit visa, and she went along with it for 2 reasons. Firstly, she could get a visa, but secondly, she wouldn't have to pay for the stolen merchandise.
I was asleep.
Holy
There's clues there.
Straight
And the
back.
silhouette at the other end.
But there was no one there to prove you're asleep.
I was asleep.
Because
they're great.
because your missus was
Because you were
downstairs having a bit with
bothering
me.
I think that kind of sort of, compromises your position.
Whose position is compromised?
Holy grandpa.
and knowing my wife, your position would have to be compromised.
If only I could
Which I
reach.
always thought was the best bit,
He's not
personally.
complained so far.
Terrible.
You should be ashamed.
I
Yes.
am always
He's
regularly
terrible.
ashamed of myself.
Have we sort of moved away from the script here, or have we?
Well, I finished my
I
script.
think we're still there.
Have it?
I've
I
still got
finished
some.
mine. Oh, you still.
Oh,
Oh, get
everyone's
on
a
with
Well, I've
it.
still got some
I-
too.
Round
Yeah.
three.
Are you after me?
Oh, Pete.
Okay.
No, I've got to follow.
Oh.
The presence of the... Look, excuse me, this involves you, young woman.
Yeah, pay attention, she's asking questions like
Presence of... Is the work of the resistance.
Ah, vive la resistance!
And Nicole is the obvious suspect. Where were you and Bezansky at the time of the
Bezansky?
murder?
We were.
Because I think you
Yeah,
were
that's his
working
name.
together.
Writing up
Can
the-
you
man from
produce
Yorkshire.
an independent witness to prove where you were?
Yeah.
No, but I can
We-
Going on.
We were walking. We were walking in the garden.
With Bertie.
We were together.
Bertie?
No one saw us, but
Who's
I wrote
Bertie?
a poem.
We didn't see anybody. somebody else, but we were in the
You
garden.
only had eyes for
We
him.
did.
Dans le jardin.
Oui, dans le jardin.
Dans le jardin.
C'est
And
fantastique.
he wrote me a poem.
I humped you up.
What did you say?
You wrote?
I wrote you a poem. I wrote.
Sarah,
I am writing you a poem.
He
Yes.
wrote me a
he
poem.
roasted you a poem.
He rodded you at home.
Oui.
He wrote me a poem.
sausage meat is all there.
He did, and he read it to me.
Listen to her.
And he read it to me ever so nicely.
She wandered lonely as a cloud.
She keep talking about roasting.
Has anybody got anything to add to round 3?
No.
Raymond O'Malley.
And I'm going to ask
He's the guest murderer.
Ingrid Pith to start. And then we will transgress
Sacre
clockwise.
bleu.
So you're
Okay,
taking
the
it
black
there.
cat was a useful business partner for me. I seem to be about the only one here who's sorry to see him dead. I'm going to be difficult to get paintings like they used to get without help. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît, merci beaucoup. I used to do. You shut up. I used to do without his help. So why would I kill him? Once I sold paintings of the swollen Madonna.
With the big boobies.
Swollen Madonna. Okay.
I think Swan says it all.
I would have paid him the money I owed him. And we would have carried on as before. Whereas I would have used the rest of the money to buy a visa to get out of here. There are plenty of culprits officials around here to buy one from. I think that makes sense. There are plenty of
Mimi.
corrupt officials around here to buy one.
I think she's having trouble focusing.
Otto, next please.
You're probably right.
Oh dear.
He was a good lover, which is more than can say for you foolish as
Spin on that yolk back.
Bothered?
Not bothered. She's gonna burst in a minute, I'm sure she is. She's gonna burst. Oh dear.
But I would not have killed the father of my child.
You said that about 2 hours ago.
I didn't believe you then. Do that again, that was quite cute.
And anyway, I still loved him a little. You know, I am sorry, Kirk. But there it is. I was with Kirk at the time, but my thoughts have always been with the black cat.
You old slapper.
I knew that I could not have him in my life, but I didn't want him dead.
But I could have him in my bed.
Oh dear. Oh.
Are you done?
God, she's like
Oh, yes.
she's like the deli counter, isn't she? Like, just take the number and take it.
Yeah, wait there. I'll be about an hour, yeah.
Your turn.
Oh dear, I've had a busy life.
Pete's freaking out here.
Oh, Yorkshire Pierre, come on.
Go on. Go on inside out.
Oui. Yes, I was out in the garden with my beloved Nicole. I was reading her report straight from my soul. Some say it was good, some say it was bad. I'm glad you all heard it. I'm really glad. Maybe I can read you a verse or two. Some say it's good, some say doggies do. That's it. Good.
Casablanca.
God,
Oh, don't.
All I can say is
You finished.
That's it. I
I is a poet. Don't you know it?
Oh, so who did it
Say
then?
two.
Oh, we must get
Say
some
two.
proportion into this discussion.
Proportion? There's enough portions going round the table now.
Is it proportion? Is it proportion? I am here on
I
a
need to go to the
mission
toilet
for the
again.
French resistance,
Pete,
and I have no interest in the Black Cat. I am
ready,
obviously very pleased to see a Gestapo agent killed, but I have bigger fish to fry.
Bigger fish.
My work here is in any case already done. I shall be leaving tomorrow, like Monsieur Legrand. But
Mighty late.
I was asleep upstairs.
I'm sorry, Edith. I've come the wrong side.
Give it up,
Don't worry, it will never stand up in court.
it never stands up here.
Got my foot stuck.
We know what you're doing.
Poor Sal, come on.
Like Monsieur Legrand. But I was asleep upstairs at the time of the killing. Like Monsieur Legrand, but although I hasten to add I was not with Monsieur Legrand, but at the time. Mon Dieu, that would be too horrible to contemplate.
Oh, thanks, love.
Too horrible to contemplate, remember that.
Every night, Ray. Every night.
Oh no, he's so gorgeous.
Not, no.
Yes, no.
Infamy! Infamy! They've all got it in for me!
I was asleep. Really.
Oh, bless
I may have had a glass of wine too many this afternoon.
Yeah, that's
I
familiar as well.
don't really know. But in any event, I was asleep. So I really couldn't have done this terrible thing, really, could I? Because I was asleep. And anyway, why would I want to kill the Black Cat? I didn't know my wife, Edith, had been fooling around. And that he was my daughter's father.
No.
How could I have known this?
No.
Because he was asleep.
I just thought he was an amusing mimi artist. Not a philanderer. I was asleep anyway, so it rules me out, didn't it?
Do we all have to say who we think it is then? And give our
think you
reason?
do, yeah.
You're one step ahead of the host, my dear.
Yes.
Accusations.
Right.
In other words,
We now have to decide who's done it.
And why?
You've done it and why?
Right.
Has anyone got any idea?
I think we should start with Ingrid. Ingrid, who did it?
Saw in press.
Jigsaw.
Mr. Kirk Ramson tells us that his art is his least vulnerable spot. I think this is true. He is having the affairs with Madame Edith, but also with Mademoiselle Ingrid Pith. I'm thinking he does not seem very committed to Madame Edith. I think you will agree he is not the kind of man to risk his neck for this woman. And if he does not do the murder, then nor does Edith. Monsieur Le Grand Butt is in the drunken stupor. This is very clear. He had no idea his wife was not in bed with him, which is very sad, but also very innocent. And if he is too drunk to do anything, then Mademoiselle Ingrid Pith has no one to help her do the murdering. Herr von Pinkelwurst is clearly mad. I do not believe he and the so-called Countess
I think we'd all
have
spot
done
that.
this. Otherwise, he would not be going around calling for the death of mime artists. This is not the behavior of a guilty man. And why would he leave a bullet behind? Maybe it is the Countess bullet, but I do not think so. I do not think Herr Otto would let her do such a thing. No, my little chums. The bullet is very clearly the mark of the resistance. Mademoiselle Nicole and Monsieur Pierre Pesonsky. But Monsieur Oily Cat says he has seen them in the garden. So they have the alibi. How does Monsieur Oily Cat see them in the garden? Maybe because he is in the garden himself. Or maybe you remember that the Black Cat's realm faces south over the garden. Yes, you must remember this. Maybe it's the window of this realm. Monsieur Oily Cat sees the two young lovers. Ah, oui. I think this is near the truth. The Black Cat is a Gestapo agent. He is also a very big man. But I lift him up to be hanged.